Hello, students. This is Kainat from Alamkul, and we will discuss today lecture 4 of the chapter Motion from class 9. So, in the last class, we discussed the rate of motion to the speed, and now the second part of the rate of motion is velocity, and we'll discuss it today. Okay, so velocity is same as that of the speed, but the difference is in both of these is one is scalar quantity and another one is vector quantity. So the scalar quantity is the speed that we discussed in the last class, and this is the velocity that we are going to discuss in this class. Okay, this is vector quantity. Vector quantity means it is having two things, that is magnitude as well as direction, right? As well as direction. But in a scalar quantity, it is having only one, that is magnitude. It deals nothing with the direction. Okay, it has no link with the direction. But vector quantity is having both magnitude and direction. Okay, fine. So here in this, while the speed was what? Speed was distance upon time, right? Distance upon time, the ratio of the distance covered to the time taken. But in this, the velocity is displacement upon time. Okay, the velocity is displacement upon time. Displacement is also the vector quantity. It is also having magnitude and direction as well. So this, the velocity will be the ratio of the displacement, the displacement covered by the object by time taken. Okay, okay, fine. So this is the formula for the what? Velocity. Okay, it can be zero, negative, or positive, but speed can never be zero. It cannot be zero. If a body has covered some distance, then the speed can never be zero, because only distance covered is taken in this, not the displacement. Okay, so speed can never be zero, never be negative, but velocity can be positive, can be negative, and can be zero. Okay, fine. तो ये सारी चीजें होती है. तो ये जो होता है, ये क्या होता है? If anything of the, I mean, if any one of these two will get changed, either magnitude or displacement, or sorry, or direction, then the velocity will get changed. Even if, means, like a body is traveling in a uniform speed, like this. Okay, like this, with 5 meter per second, 5 meter per second, everywhere 5 meter per second. Here we will say that the speed is constant. Speed is constant, 5 meter per second every time, right? But the velocity is not constant. Why velocity is not constant? Because velocity is not constant because here the body is changing its direction from this point to this point, and in this point also it's changing its direction. At every point it's changing its direction. This point also, this point also, this point also. Traveling a few distance, it is changing its direction. That is why velocity is not uniform, because it's getting changed. Velocity is why velocity is not uniform, because direction is getting changed at every point, but the speed is constant, right? But we will say that the whole motion will be considered with the velocity. So the uniformity of the motion will get destroyed here, and we'll say that the motion is non-uniform. Okay, so velocity की ये कहानी होती है. ठीक है, velocity is displacement upon time. Okay, so displacement can also be positive, negative, or what? Zero, right? If a body has covered a distance like A to B 5 meter, then B to C 6 meter, and then C to D 12 meter. So what is the displacement here? 5 plus 6, right? 5 plus 6, it will be 11, but it has changed its direction backward. So what we will say, that 11 minus 12, it will be minus 1. So displacement will be what? Minus 1. Displacement will be what? Minus 1 meter. Okay, so minus 1 meter, and time taken, whatever be the timetable, let us suppose the whole journey is taking time to be 10 minutes or 10 seconds. Okay, 10 seconds. So time taken is here 10 seconds. So what will be the velocity? Velocity will be minus 1 by 10, that is 0.1, minus 0.1 meter per second. Okay, this will be the velocity. See here, it's negative. Here it's negative value. It's coming out to be of velocity. But if we say that what will be the speed of the object, what will be the average, what will be the speed of the object, or you can say what will be the average speed of the object, then what we'll say, the, then for the average speed we will add all of the, irrespective of the direction, we will add all of the distances. So 5, so total distance will be how much? 5 meter plus 6 meter plus 12 meters. So it will be 11 plus 12. So it will be how much? 23 meters. Okay, 23 meters. And the time taken is how much? Time taken is 10 seconds, as already here given. So average speed will be how much? Total distance upon total time. Total distance is 23 meter and time is 10 seconds. So it will be 2.3 meter per second. It will always be positive. It will always be positive. Okay. The speed will always be positive. It cannot be zero or negative if a body has traveled. Okay. So this is the average speed and this is the average velocity. Okay. So this is the difference between average speed and average velocity. ऐसा लगता है कि दोनों सेम है क्योंकि मीटर पर सेकंड बट यहाँ पे डिस्प्लेसमेंट और डिस्टेंस ही जो है वो सारे डिफरेंस जो है वो मेजर कर देता है, डिफरेंस को ही मेजर कर देता है, क्योंकि डिस्प्लेसमेंट जीरो भी हो सकता है, नेगेटिव भी हो सकता है और पॉजिटिव भी हो सकता है. ओके, इफ अ बॉडी इज ट्रेवलिंग इन अ स्ट्रेट लाइन देन it will be equal, then the average speed will be equal to the average velocity, right? तो हमें यहाँ पे कहीं हमें सब्ट्रैक्ट नहीं करना होगा क्योंकि डायरेक्शन चेंज नहीं हो रहा है. डायरेक्शन इज नॉट गेटिंग चेंज, देन एवरेज स्पीड विल बी इक्वल टू एवरेज वेलोसिटी. बट wherever the direction has got changed, then average speed will get average velocity will get differ to the average speed. Okay, fine. Now कितने कितने किस किस टाइप के जो होते हैं वो वेलोसिटी होते हैं. तो यूनिफॉर्म वेलोसिटी जैसे कि हम लोग स्पीड में पढ़े थे तो वैसे ही पढ़ेंगे. यूनिफॉर्म वेलोसिटी जो कि इक्वल डिस्प्लेसमेंट इन इक्वल इंटरवल्स ऑफ टाइम में अगर कवर हो रहा है तो उसे क्या कहेंगे? यूनिफॉर्म वेलोसिटी. नॉन यूनिफॉर्म वेलोसिटी देन वी विल से दैट if a body is covering unequal distances in equal intervals of time, then it is called non-uniform velocity. Okay, or we can say that it is variable velocity, means velocity is getting changed. Average velocity, the total displacement upon the total time, whatever be the total displacement of that journey be the, then upon total time taken, that will be considered as average velocity. Okay, average velocity. Okay, so and here the velocity changes. So see, if a body is getting, if a body is changing its direction, its velocity, then what we how we will say that if velocity we suppose we are given some velocity, like initial velocity is a body has started with some velocity like u, or final velocity but ended up with the different velocity v. Okay, ended up the journey with the different velocity v. So how we are going to calculate the average velocity here? Now the average formula of the average velocity will be v average will be u plus v upon 2. Okay, u plus v upon 2, that the average velocity, sorry, initial velocity and plus final velocity upon 2, that will give us the average velocity. Okay, fine. Now instantaneous velocity, जैसे कि instantaneous speed निकाले थे, तो at a particular instant of time बहुत ढेर सारी जर्नी चल रही है, लेकिन हमें इस पॉइंट पे क्या चाहिए? हमें डिस्टेंस सॉरी वेलोसिटी चाहिए, तो इसे क्या क्या कहेंगे? इंस्टेंटेनियस वेलोसिटी. Instantaneous velocity. Okay, so we will call it instantaneous velocity. If we want to calculate the time, calculate the velocity at particular instant of time, then that is called instant velocity. Okay, अब स्पीडोमीटर क्या होता है? स्पीडोमीटर सबको पता है कि वो क्या होता है, स्पीड मेजर करने के लिए होता है मूविंग बॉडी में. ठीक है, तो ये दिया होता है किसी कार में, व्हीकल में दिया होता है कि स्पीडोमीटर किस स्पीड से बॉडी जो है वो चल रही है, किस स्पीड से बाइक जो है वो चल रही है. ओके, इफ अ बॉडी इज मूविंग, अगर स्ट्रेट, जैसा कि हम बताएं कि अभी अगर बॉडी स्ट्रेट लाइन में चल रही है तो मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ द स्पीड एंड वेलोसिटी विल बी इक्वल. ओके, मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ द स्पीड एंड वेलोसिटी विल बी इक्वल. फाइन. Average speed of and that already I have told you that average speed of an object can never be zero, but the average velocity of moving object can be zero. It can also be negative and it can also be positive. Fine. So this much we have studied today, and we are done with the today's lecture. And keep on liking the videos, and don't forget to subscribe the channel. Bye bye.